How is your relationship? I saw a video of you and Mama Dragon.
Yes.
3 days ago. I think you were both decked out in yellow.
Yes, in the Lambo.
Yellow Lambo. What's your relationship like with your mom and your dad?
So that's the one thing that I've been gifted from the start of my life. Like, if everything went away tomorrow, I have a solid family. All of my siblings, I have 2 older sisters and older brother. I'm the youngest, obviously the brat, as we can tell. I have such a strong family. My parents have been together for a bajillion years, like 30 mother effing years. I don't even know it's been that long. Actually, I figured out recently they got married on my birthday, which I always thought was a lie. I thought they just were joking. They're like, oh yeah, our wedding anniversary is on your birthday. And I was like, no, it's not. Like, what are you talking about? But it really is. And I just come from such a strong family. My mom is a Latina Mexican woman, now kind of discovering we're Native American. Total side note, weird, crazy. Once you get the little 23andMe ancestry.
The only reason Nikita, the only reason I even am aware of that previously is because your braid scandal.
Oh my God.
Jesus. Like
Oh my God.
I want to see a headline with your name in it it's just like had a chill day.
Nikita Dragun, chill. And my dad, obviously Vietnamese. We got some Japanese in there. Like all these little anyway, so I come from a very ethnically mixed household.
Sure.
Both military parents. My mom, is a doctor for the military, and my dad has been obviously in the Army forever. Brother went to West Point. My sister is also in the, it's just, I have a strong family. And we've obviously faced a lot, of adversity growing up in a conservative, typically white suburb, I guess, suburbia. And that's the crazy thing. My parents obviously have such deep roots in their cultures. And I think that we didn't even have a gay person in our entire bloodline. Not outed. I don't know. There's some. We got some. We got some. I don't know. So we got some cousins or something. Right?
Oh, okay.
But no, none of that. And obviously no education in terms of being trans or anything. So when I had made the decision to come out at first as gay, it was already a learning curve and it was already pretty difficult. But then when I made the transition to obviously transition, that was a tough one because I think that I moved off to LA at that point.
Sure.
I turned down my NYU scholarship from high school. I took a year off and I went to community college, which, if you go to community college.
I have, yeah.
Your high school peers, they think you're a failure because they're like, oh, you went to community college. Oh, you didn't get accepted into our partying school. That's like $50,000 a year,
yeah.
right?
That crazy money, yeah.
That crazy. So, I took a year off and tried to figure it out. And that's when I was like cross-dressing and going out to clubs by myself and just figuring it out. And then once I was dropped off here in LA, which I'd never visited before because I got another scholarship to FIDM, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, to go to business school for makeup.
Like, we're gonna hit that too.
Oh no. You really were researching.
Well, I don't want it to be lazy.
No, of course.
But okay, no. So it's interesting, I think, to a portion of my audience regarding when you said when you were younger you realized you were gay.
Yes.
Right. When did you realize, and when also did that become a conversation with your parents?
So I thought growing up I was born a woman until I was like 5.
Oh, okay.
So no.
This is where my research fell short.
No, it's weird.
We're done, guys.
It's weird. The research, we need to pull up the citations. The citation page is wrong. No, I grew up thinking I was a girl, or when you're a little kid, you don't think about gender.
Sure.
You don't just think like, oh my God, I must like X product because this company is promoting this to boys. You know what I mean? You don't think that. You just like whatever you like, you like. So I did not know until I was in preschool. I don't know what age you are in preschool, 5, 6?
Yeah, around 5.
5 or so. So I was always a little bit more mature because my siblings were a little bit older than me. So I was always just a little bit ahead. And so I never liked to do naps ever. Nap time was like not a thing for me. So my teacher would allow me to play dress up.
Sure.
Wow. And this was like on a military base, mind you, in Virginia. So
that's not the dress up we thought.
Yeah. So I would put on the dresses and she was a cool teacher. Her name was Melanie. I don't even know why I remember that right now. Melanie.
Just early support.
And then it wasn't until another teacher from one of the classes had come over just probably to talk to the teacher, Kiki or whatever. And she was like, why would you let that little boy do that? That's disgusting.
Oh, wow.
Like, how dare you let him put on that dress? Like, should we talk to the parents? Like, this whole big ordeal. And that's when I first realized, I was like, oh wait, this is like wrong. I shouldn't be, I shouldn't like this. And then it kind of developed more and more when my favorite color is pink. And when I was in the first or kindergarten, I'm like, oh, what's your favorite color? Pink. And the boys are like, ah. I'm like, oh, okay. So for early on, I knew I had to, like, in a sense, hide that from from everybody.
Yeah. Well, especially early on, it's like
crazy.
Yeah. Kids are little animals. So it's just
but
self-preservation.
It's crazy how much you can remember, or that you have the, like, because kids are so smart, and the things that obviously I can't even imagine with social media these days, but, I was experiencing and self-aware at a very early age. So once I kind of knew this whole gay thing, I knew how to mask it. But it was only a gay thing because I wasn't educated on trans. Like, that wasn't even slightly a conversation.
And that was, for you, was your kind of first introduction to that when I think you were 8 and you saw a documentary.
Yes.
What was that?
I don't remember what it was.
But it just, okay.
It clicked in me, but I remember I was watching it. It was like on TV, and I just like remember seeing something, and it was like, I think even back then it was like, obviously just as like, I was like, okay, like I think this might be it. And I think I what reinforced it too was on Ugly Betty. They had, I know,
yeah,
such a random show.
Solid show.
On Ugly Betty, they had that girl who played Mystique, by the way. They cast a real female as the trans woman.
Okay.
Rebecca Romaine, maybe?
I don't know.
I think that I don't know how I remember.
Nods from the audience.
I'm remembering these names.
Yeah.
They had this whole thing where, this guy had a brother, and then his brother got in a ski accident. He thought his brother died, and then his brother came back as a woman, this whole trans thing.
Sure.
And that was another time where I was like, oh, wait, this is like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, obviously they had a woman playing don't get me into that. But that was like another moment where I was like, okay, wait, this could be a thing.
Sure.
Right. And then I just grew up now in high school and all that stuff, just thinking I was the most extreme, super feminine version of a gay. And even too, I really didn't live as a gay male because I never had like, a gay boyfriend, or I never had like sex or anything. So it wasn't like I really was, in a sense, living a gay life, if that makes any sense.
And when do the parents get involved, or no?
When I was gay, or that I was about to be trans?
Both.
Okay. The gay moment was, they've known. It's just been, I think they just really thought I loved girls. Because they're like, oh yeah, he
infatuated.
He loves to play only the girl characters.
Sure.
Loves to only draw girls. I think he's gonna be like a designer, because I used to just draw. At the time I was drawing like the dragon, and like with the clothes and the hair that I've always wanted and stuff. But yeah, I think they just thought I was just like,
just always
gonna be like a Hugh Hefner or something, right? Like just obsessed with girls.
I just didn't know if you had one of those moments where you were like, I have to tell you something, and they're like, well,
no, I kind of did. I definitely had one with my mom. Like I told her, like I think after like watching like Sex in the City or something, it was so random because the only time that it would kind of come up was like, oh, I can't wait for you to like marry a girl one day, or like, oh, I can't wait for you, like what kind of girlfriend, or like what, like kind of though, and that's the uncomfortable feeling that would be. And then after like one of those moments, I kind of was like, hey, you kind of know, but like, hey, what's up? And then for my dad, it was like, Lady Gaga has her monsters.
Sure.
And she has a very prevalent, obviously LGBTQ plus community, and like the monsters. Like my dad's very foreign, so his kind of correlation between gay and monsters, like Gaga, are kind of similar. So I think one day he was like doing laundry, and he's like, "Are you a monster?" And I was like, "Yeah."